Today on Leap of Consciousness, we welcome you. I'm Annie Kalatkar, and with me is Ashley Lee. And this week is about neutralizing consciousness challenges, because this is the most important aspect to getting to that space of peace and improving the relating with yourself, with others, and life circumstances.
What is being neutral? Well, it certainly starts with absence of judgments, right? Inside ourselves, with each other, and our life circumstances is to release and have absence of judgments. Another vital aspect of being neutral is non-triggered by emotions or thoughts. Another way of being neutral is empty and devoid of intentions, expectations, or attachments to those outcomes. We also look at being neutral as the opportunity to really embody and experience being ineffable, peaceful, and blissful.
I think being neutral has often been underrated. It is actually one of the greatest places to be.
It truly is. And one of the things that we recognize that challenge us in being neutral is a judgment, right, can affect our neutrality, and it directly reflects our relating with ourselves and each other. Judgments literally wall us off from one another and contributes to consciousness challenges.
It absolutely does. You know, I love this picture of two business people, one on either side of the wall. They have literally separated themselves with something so tangible, and they are in fact inhibiting the relating, and they're triggering these very uncomfortable emotions, which you can actually see in their body language. So one of the ways that we correct this by making conscious choice to release that wall of judgments, to say with that commitment, I now recognize when I release my self-judgments and the judgments of others or the situation, I realize the wall will dissolve and the relating can be restored by my conscious choice. And it really only takes one person to get that wall out of the way. And the improvements in the relating that happen from that position are significant.
They really are. So what challenges us in not being neutral, right? What gets in the way of becoming neutral? Being stressed or in fear can certainly impact that. Being in survival versus thrival certainly can impact our ability to be neutral.
I love that photo so much. I mean, he has everything he needs, and it's so amazing the illusion that's present in this
idea about getting enough water. It is, it's true.
Yeah.
We can be inundated by consciousness challenges. Most of them happen in our head, in our belief systems, in our thought structures. They really do impact us, the ability to release our judgments and become neutral. We can get stuck in conflicts of being in victim states of being. Now, this image really has a lot of imagery in it, and I think it's powerful to state it from several different points of view. Inside the first point of view, as she has a hand painted over her mouth, she could be dealing with it with herself. The ability to think of ourselves as being a victim. I can't speak. I can't share my truth. I can't be authentic with myself. We could be, and these could be really captured through different consciousness challenges like perfectionism, for example. I have to be so perfect. I have to be so present. I have to make this work just right. I have to be the perfect person, that it actually stifles us from speaking and becoming our authentic and our true nature. From another perspective of victim, we could think of us as how people are relating to us outside of ourselves, so that we could believe that other people are stopping us from speaking our truth, from saying our value, from sharing our beliefs, our intentions, our ideas. And that's what stops us from being neutral, is this idea of being victim. When we can release the hand from over our mouth, when we can really come forward, speak truthfully, speak honestly with one another, with ourselves, we open the opportunity to really experience this deep state of neutrality, so that we can hear all points of view, all perspectives, and all sides, and happening inside the relating. Another thing that can keep us really challenged in not being neutral is having a strained relationship with our inner guidance.
This guy really is expressing a lot of things. I think the most obvious one is, make wrong. And when we go into make wrong, and I can't believe this is happening to me, we kill that connection to our inner guidance. And the moment you judge yourself as wrong, you're also judging your inner guidance as either not being present for you, not giving you the right direction, that perhaps you misinterpreted the instructions or directions that you got from your inner guidance. And so the moment we step into those judgments, whether it's of ourselves or others or life circumstances, we lose that neutrality. And the good news is you're really only a step away from regaining that connection and saying, oops, I let that go. I'm done with the self-judgments, inner guidance. I open to getting back on track with being neutral in this moment. It really does just take that amount of conscious choice.
It's really true. But then when we're neutral, it's amazing. Organically, our inner guidance just pops right in and starts talking to us, starts giving us information and understanding. Why is being neutral important, Annie?
Well, with the absence of judgments, we actually can begin hearing what's being said. We open that space. We don't just open space. You could say you open a door, and I just think the space is just darling and really says, come in with your neutrality, come in with your innocence. Let's see what we can share together. And so the absence of judgments really does equal reduced conflicts, because we're moving into a space to join with another inside the relationship with no preconceived ideas, no limiting beliefs, and certainly no judgments that might produce a defensiveness inside the other party. So this can produce clarity with problem solving, and literally your walls to hearing answers or seeing the answer or perceiving it through some other sensory modality just opens up. So that neutrality is actually a part of your inner brilliance, and opening to your neutrality supports you in how you move forward in life. And as your conflicts de-escalate, you actually begin to stand in your power more. You have the ability to change the direction that the conflicts were taking you. And the best part, I think, is solutions emerge. I mean, who really wants to go through the maze of the conflicts when you can stop and get neutral, check in with your inner guidance, and just get right to where you want to go? Whether it's straight through the middle, over the top, it doesn't matter. The solution does emerge. And it's always going to be valuable, and it's going to be just right for you.
So what are the benefits to being neutral? Because we found quite a few. And we thought that the biggest one really is that the universe does deliver amazing solutions when we embody those unattachments to outcomes through this process called pronoia. And we really did create this amazing level of empowerment called pronoia consciousness. And inside this empowerment, really we can say to ourselves, when I presence the embodiment of pronoia, that is, I know that the world is conspiring to support me and everyone around me. Through the collective consciousness of oneness, I being one with all that is, I can completely recognize the abundance of the universe that provides support to all of us. What does that really mean? That means when I'm standing neutral, when I'm standing absent of judgments, I really, and truly the attachments to outcome, and I recognize that I am the proof I choose to create. I am the outcome I want to achieve. I just haven't achieved it in the moment. And when I know that I am the outcome I choose to achieve, I can bring in, I can allow, I can open that door to all the resources and opportunities to create solutions to any conflicts or problems I experience. The other benefit to being neutral, and it's pretty amazing, is when we release all forms of stress and it becomes absent in our experience, health truly and organically really becomes the vital force of one's life. We don't have to make it happen. We don't have to force it to happen. We don't have to push it to happen. We don't have to go see somebody else to make it happen for us. When we recognize all the stressors in our lives and really present solutions and opportunities and bring in constructs and consciousness of pronoia, we then really do recognize that our vital force energy, our own healing, is available at our fingertips.
There are obstacles to achieving neutrality, and we all experience them. We can have consciousness challenges that come into play that we didn't even know were there, and distractions, lack of focus and concentration, lack of commitment consciousness, and many others. We often don't realize that there is this collision of consciousness challenges that can come out of nowhere, like three rivers meeting and churning up the experience into rough water. I am sure that this young lady is committed to getting straight A's. She's doing her homework, but maybe she has a little bit of distraction going on because maybe there's some guy that's she's hoping to hear from, so she keeps checking her phone. And that's a consciousness challenge of looking for love outside of ourselves. She may be wanting that boy to give her the attention and the love that she wants in her life. And so she's not really as committed to doing her homework as she would like to be. And so consciousness challenges will weaken your commitment to your intention. So she made an intention long ago to get her straight A's, but the commitment got weakened by some of her consciousness challenges. So to truly have your commitment remain strong or intact so that you can stand in your power and achieve neutrality, it really means you do have to work on releasing, at least recognizing and beginning the process of making conscious choice to let go of the consciousness challenges so that your commitment can remain intact with your intention. Doubt is another killer of neutrality, and disbelief of others, right? How many times do we experience disappointment or dismay with another person? That is all because we have judgments about the other party, and that just kills neutrality right away. If our cup is full, it would be lovely to go to the other party and say, I see you're struggling in this moment. How may I love, serve, and support you? And so instead of losing your neutrality, you actually maintain it and move forward to give support to the other person from in service to us, which is keeping that interdependence going inside of yourself and inside of the other party. When you witness it in the other party, you actually lend tremendous support for them to fill their own cup up. So we can let go of doubt and self-doubt and the disbelief and disappointment, dismay, and all those other lovely adjectives that we have in others to get back to that neutral place. And we may feel that we have an inability to master our inner and outer experiences. And this picture really captures that well, because you have this bird's eye view of, you know, looking at it from way high up as to how we navigate this maze of consciousness challenges that sometimes we didn't even know we had. And then you also can take that ground floor perspective of what it's like to be moving in and through, trying to get to your neutral spot. So simply acknowledging that you may be losing your neutrality is a great place to start, and saying, you know, I'm experiencing a little challenge here, a little obstacle to being neutral. And it's that opening the door to choosing to get back to neutral, that we actually find our way out of the maze of challenges that our consciousness can create for us.
So how do we know when we are neutral? Our connection with our inner guidance is assured through a deep sense of knowing. So you know which one is your inner guidance, which key is your inner guidance. Is it the one that starts the car? Is it the one that opens the door? Is it the one that bakes the cake? Is it the one that tells you how to put together the new furniture you just bought? Or is it the one deeply inside that's guiding you, navigating with you, supporting you, relating to you, and really sharing with you really the energies of the world all around us to support us in anything we navigate through? Sometimes we know when we're in neutral when you just can't make this stuff up, right? You just know that you know that you know. You and your inner guidance are aligned. You're centered, you're grounded. It's guiding you through the streets. It's sharing with you, what would I like to experience next? Would I like to go to this restaurant? Or would I like to meet this person? Or this person who's walking in front of me? Is that a beautiful person that I'm here to meet and experience throughout my life?
I think another way to describe this state is we're in the flow, and it just happens. And it's a gorgeous feeling, and we ride that experience.
It really is. And really, when we know we're in neutral, peace floods our whole very being. We know it from the tips of our toes to the top of our head and every space in between. We really know all is perfect, even if some chaotic things are happening around us, or some unfortunate things are happening to others, or what's happening maybe even in our own life. And we still acknowledge that all is perfect, that we are the creators of our proof. We are the creators of our outcome, and we can create this happening in all the ways we like. And the space of neutrality really starts us into these higher empowered states of being. So what literally creates neutrality, Annie?
Well, beginning with the process of releasing judgments inside your consciousness challenges and utilizing the conflict resolution process, this tool that we've created together to support the release of the consciousness challenges. And the process has 5 steps, and we'll go through those with Ashley's help here in just a second. But the first one really is acknowledge you have a conflict. This acknowledgement is acceptance of the conflict. It takes us out of denial and it plants us squarely in our power, where we can begin the process of going through the, like an audit. We itemize our self-judgments, which is the second step.
Yes, the second step is really amazing.
And getting through.
This is where the golden nuggets are, right? Where through the judgments. When we release judgments, it's amazing, because we may not have recognized that between the two hands, that energy that's flowing back and forth, right, is the conflict. And inside that conflict is buried and involuted inside is consciousness challenges. And so we can view each hand as me and to other parts of myself. So I'm in conflict with myself. It could be me and you, another person. And it could be me and the world, and how I view that, and how we interact with one another creates that negative energy, that negative experience inside the real estate between me and this other part that I'm in conflict with. And so what happens is, in this second part, this is the really gem, this is the jewel of the conflict resolution process. Because when we release judgments, so when we start, and I start with myself, I release the judgments of myself, my self-judgments. I can't believe I got here. I can't believe I'm experiencing this. I feel powerless to change it. I can't change it unless the other person changes it. All kinds of self-judgments. I let those all go in this moment. I consciously choose it and choose to seriously let them go. And when I do that, what happens in my mind, in my body, I get very clear with what's happening. I get very clear with the components of the negative energy going back and forth. I even get quite clear of my own consciousness challenges that I'm bringing forward to this conflict. And I start to release those judgments of that. I start to release then the judgments of the conflict itself. This conflict should never have happened. I don't want it. I don't like it. I want it to go away. I don't know. All these other judgments we can start to let go that we're contributing to the consciousness challenge inside this conflict. And then when I clear my judgments of the conflict, I then have the opportunity to get super clear with what the other party is doing, either another part of myself or another person or a group of people. I can recognize what they're contributing, that part is contributing to the conflict I'm experiencing. And so I start to release the self-judgments from this party's side of the conflict. And I start to release that as they're emitting their self-judgments into the real estate of the conflict. Then I start releasing the judgments in that real estate between it. And as that happens, that just neutralizes, right? Now, remember that cement wall? It just drops to rubble. And in that opportunity, then, we have the experience to have a greater sense of relating, to move to deeper depths of conflict resolution than we ever realized possible. And then we move into that step 3, and that's forgiveness of the judgments itself. So I forgive me, and I forgive the other one, the other party, even that other part of me if it's me and myself. And what I do is I recognize that I can forgive the judgments that were created. When I forgive that, then the actions become mitigated. They become smaller. They don't happen anymore. It's really amazing to witness this process of releasing judgments, because as we do, we become neutral. And when we become neutral, our heart starts to naturally open, and we become compassionate to the conflict, to the situation, to the conflict challenges that were created in the first place. It's very, very powerful. So in the ability to embody neutrality, being neutral in any circumstance, even when chaos is present. So as many of us nowadays are experiencing this level of chaos at home, many of us resemble these consciousness challenges. This mother has done a beautiful job of representing how to be neutral in a moment of chaos. And really, the ability to embody neutrality is the highest form of self-love. So in this moment, would everyone take a moment to just gently or softly, if available, to close and relax your eyelids, and to breathe in the opportunity of giving yourself self-love in this moment. Being neutral, releasing judgments of conflicts you may be experiencing. Having that moment of reprieve, that moment of solace, that moment of peace. Being your true, ineffable self. And as you move into a few moments of this experience, you'll start to recognize that solutions, opportunities, resources, potentials start to emerge naturally without having to make it happen or force it or figure it out. It's a beautiful place to experience self-love. And inside of this empowerment,
yes, we do. We invite everyone to embody this and take a good look at how this father is holding space for his daughter to air her troubles while he remains neutral, as he has no attachment to the outcome. He's actually doing a beautiful job just letting her get connected to her inner guidance.
And really have that deeper clarity of understanding some of the challenges she faces when she's resolving these inner conflicts that she's experiencing. And really it gains this higher sense of navigation through these challenges that we experience on a day-to-day basis with ourselves and each other. Yes. The ability to emanate your neutrality with others is so vital and so helpful, not only to ourselves, but it's the opportunity to give the gift of neutrality to others and see what emerges inside the relating with that.
So we invite you to enroll in our remote transmission energy healing program on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. your time. And you can deepen your ability of neutrality through integration on the road to mastery. And this program is offered all year round, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. You can make a leap in your consciousness. Think about it. You have 2 advanced energy healers supporting you, putting together a custom and unique energy package just for you. And you can go back through Awake TV and watch episode 1 and pair it with your first energy transmission. Then watch episode 2, which is this one on neutrality, and know that your energy transmission for the Wednesday night is going to be supporting and deepening your integration of how you can get to neutral. So we invite you to sign up on our website, leapofconsciousness.com. And we look forward to sharing this amazing program with you for 12 weeks. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week. We have another amazing show lined up, and we will see you at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you all.